So I'll skip the first section. We'll do that later. Then I'll give you first an update on what we're doing outdoor. So as you may have noticed, I think there's quite a few people who have done some very nice DIY fixes with the outdoor. Like they just put the device in an outdoor enclosure and found their own solution with mixed success. Some worked fine, some didn't work fine. So we've been playing with this idea for a long time to make a more professional variant, let's say, of the device, which you can install outdoor. So with the designer, which has developed the usual, the classic S2, we asked basically the question, okay, can you design the same thing outdoor? Well, knowing that once you go outdoor, you add lots of complexity and risk and compliance and IP67 waterproof and vandalism proof. So I mean, I mean, it's not the. It may seem small, but it necessarily isn't. So that we started with that to just give an update. We started with that in October, November last year. I think we had the first trial in Portugal. So you can see the device here, which is just, I mean, the Illuminati cover with the triangle where the camera just basically looks out. But what's inside is exactly the same as the S2 without the screen. The cable gland on the bottom there, you can see is just to enter the cable for the solar panel. So good things, bad things, it works in the sense that once you install it, and I mean, it works fine, even in cold temperature and warm temperature, that's fine. What we underestimated is the power independency. So we combined this with the solar panel and a battery. The battery intended to last for like 5 days if you don't have sun, but that turned out to be 1 day, and the solar in principle enough to feed enough power to keep it ongoing continuously. That's not the case. I mean, that's assuming way too much ideal circumstances with like full sun and so on. So we have to make an adjustment there. In any case, our plan is to make some changes on this first iteration of the prototype. In this case, the battery is like completely enclosed in the enclosure, and you need to have like open it up to put the cable in. We're going to change that. We're going to go for some completely generic solar panel battery combination, which you can get off the shelf. I mean, there are solutions on the market, like they're 200 or 300 euros, depending on the size. And we'll just enable like a small connector with like a waterproof connector to a watertight enclosure. So this will likely maintain this, but offload and externalize the whole power management. Also, this allows for, and it will then be tolerant for any DC input. So an input from anywhere between 5-volt DC and 25-volt DC. So it can be a lead acid battery, it can be a solar panel, it can be a battery, it can be AC current from the net converted to a DC, all possible. And that's also a bit the reason why we made that change, because we had some feedback from others that they don't necessarily need like a solar panel and a battery. They just need to have something which is safe and for outdoor, and they will supply power themselves via, I don't know, a cable they put themselves. So we want to make that a bit modular. Then also you don't have the cost of the solar panel and the battery, which, I mean, can be expensive, 200, 300 euros or dollars. I mean, it's not nothing. So that's the status. We expect to be ready with the next iteration in like a month or two or so, and then do a first real production run, let's say, and we'll take it from there. There's lots of interest. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about counting bike lanes, for example, where I mean, very often there are no suitable windows to count that. They're like back roads and so on. That's definitely a use case that we're going to explore in springtime in here in Leuven, like a bicycle lane from Leuven to Brussels. Like every segment we will have one of these devices. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Shoot, I mean, questions, Steve. I don't want to keep chatting. I mean, if you have some thoughts or questions about this, shoot, or anybody else.
Yeah, I was put in the talks that, or perhaps it was an email that we would be interested in the enclosure without the power, because one of our opportunities would be streetlights, and we have streetlights and they have holiday decorations on them in the wintertime. So there's AC power there, so we could find a weatherproof transformer and just use your enclosure.
Yeah. That's what we understood as well. We thought that we need like something which is complete. There's actually quite a few people and use cases as a whole where you just need like a good connector and a watertight enclosure and a way to link it up to a cable. So we want to keep that modularity also to keep the cost low, because I mean, if the solar panel and battery is mandatory, yeah, that's 200 euros already, which is not nothing.
Looking at your photo, I would suggest one other thing is that a lot of the applications would be attached to a curved pole.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the back of it is flat, that, if you could put a ridge or something in it so that it would be stable up against something round, that would be cool.
Yeah, well, you can't see it here, but that it has. So there's like a mounting thing which you can put on, which then enables any kind of strap. I mean, you might even do it like these strong plastic self-strap things, or metal straps. I mean, we've tested a few things. It's not heavy, so even metal straps might be enough. But indeed, like you said, there is um, it's an off-the-shelf enclosure which is exactly designed to be mounted to poles or walls, and it's multifunctional in that sense.
I'm going to sign off. It was nice meeting you both and everybody else on the call, and see you next month, I suppose. By then,
Yeah,
I hope to have
absolutely.
an S2.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
well,
Okay, we hope so too.
yeah, but let me know. Cheers.
All the best. Yes, just to finish up on that, because I mean, it's what Steve was saying also about the fact that the houses in that area are not two-story. This would potentially make it possible to put the device on the outside of a house, still powered from the home, but make it more suitable for North American and Australasian actually houses where we've had that feedback. So that should be good. So we'll be testing that.
Yeah, we might want to be a bit less strict maybe on our guidelines on the placement, because we're now very much this European focused thing. Basically, what you want to avoid is this overlap. So a ground floor window is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just on European streets where you have lots of crossing of bikes and pedestrians. I mean, you want to avoid overlapping objects, and that's actually the only reason why we make the suggestion to move it to a first not the ground floor, but the first floor. So I have the feeling it might be scaring away some people that, oh, my location is not suited. Well, maybe it just is, and we should maybe a bit more relaxed or have a bit more explanation in our guidelines. Something to think about, Rob, later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll also be testing, hopefully in the near future, we'll be going out to our users with an opportunity to validate some of their data. And it'd be nice, it will be interesting to also ask some questions about where it's located and compare some of that validation data with that to prove that point. We'll talk about probably maybe next time, but that'll be a cool process coming soon.
Yeah. Then
bye, Matteo. Sorry, I didn't realize you had to leave too.
Go ahead.
No worries. I had a quick question. How does it do the devices share like near misses or misses? Like, for example, you see something moving but it doesn't detect what it is.
I know what you mean. I've bought that type of things for at TML, so I understand. But TML, the Telraam is not able to do that. So you need high-end camera systems for that. Near misses is quite complicated to detect with a simple AI script which we have built just for counting. Then I don't think you can avoid getting a high-end system of several thousand euros if you want that particular output. But what's the context, Matteo? Matteo? Why
talk.
Do you have a project? Okay, maybe you can't talk. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, when you can, I mean, happy to hear more context why you ask and what the context of your project maybe. Then let's jump to what was still something to discuss. It's more like an announcement than anything else. I don't want to make this too big, but when you look at the Telraam map, you clearly see that we have like a high density in Belgium and the Netherlands, and like a sporadic network or device internationally. We've been breaking our heads for a long time how to spread the gospel and not just have Telraam in our home, but also to the rest of the world. So we've been thinking a lot about that, and we're going to hire soon Actually, it's confirmed. I just need to, well, we'll need to arrange the practicalities, but we're going to hire what we call a director for international growth. So somebody will help us spreading the Telraam expansion outside of our home borders. We have some ideas on how to do that. I mean, I don't think we are like a traditional company trying to sell a product, and I mean, it's still also about very much believing the value of data and counting data with citizens. I think that's a bit special. So we're thinking of an approach of working with local ambassadors and let's call it super volunteers who want to prepare the world, who want to prepare the local city for Telraam. And this person is going to facilitate that. So we're going to set up a scheme how to help you, let's say, if you want to be like such an ambassador, for example, to get Telraam out there also in the places which we can't reach from Belgium and the Netherlands. So it's just a bit of a heads up. I mean, you might see some changes or some communication in that respect in the coming months on what we're going to try to get how we say in Dutch to get away of the church tower and also look a bit beyond beyond just our own back garden. So we're ambitious and we're looking beyond Belgium and the Netherlands. So that was the one directional thing of the. I'll stop the recording here and then we can have like a more informal chat.